torch and dip it into the sexy St. Jeff candle. No Buffs is back. I'm J.E. Skeets, along with my two fellow tribe members, two guys who love to poop in the ocean. It's JD and Trey Kirby. What's up, guys?
This is weird.
Yeah, I'll say. JD joining us here at the desk.
It's my first time.
All three of us. Actually, four of us if you count our guy, Jeff Probst. We got the cutout. If you were wondering who was going to spend $80 on cardboard, it's us at No Buffs. That's an expense. Write it off.
What are you looking at, Jeff?
Yeah, what are you pondering, Jeff Probst?
You thinking about how this is the most electric season of Survivor ever?
That's exactly what he's thinking. Yeah, JD's here. Eshwa over yonder producing for us. We love to see it. We are here to recap episode 1 of Survivor 44, a wild and scary 2-hour premiere titled, I Can't Wait to See Jeff.
That's
what it was titled. And we thought the exact same thing. That's why we ordered the cutout.
Hold on, that's what it was called?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that
Who
weird?
said it? Did somebody say it? Or
I'm sure
was it
somebody in going up to the beach to get on the
Jam,
mat.
right? He said it in his opening spiel
Maybe.
about, can't wait to see Jeff, can't wait to poop in the ocean, let's do this! Been saying it nonstop. Can't wait to poop in the ocean!
He's great. He's already a favorite. Shout out to the live tribe joining us here on YouTube. If you're a podcast listener, we love it. Drop your boys here at No Buffs a 5-star rating and review. Help us climb those Survivor ranks. As with every season, since season 41, I guess, Survivor 44, we got 26 days of gameplay, and we got 18 contestants split into 3 tribes. Now, we'll try our best here to keep track of everything. You know, these first couple of episodes, orange, is that Ratu? And then who's green? Is that Soku? And I guess Tika's purple.
It's
and
tough.
just trying to remember the names. We're going to mess up a bunch of things here, but we're going to give it our best go. And I guess we'll just get right into it. We usually do this in chronological order. Not this one. I mean, 2 hours long. We had...
Flew by, though.
Did it? You think
I
it went
thought
fast?
so.
Okay.
I thought so. First time I looked at the clock, it was 9:18. I was like, oh,
Whoa.
right, another 42 minutes?
Okay.
That's another 6 or 7 evacuations. Like, well, maybe we'll get to 26 days, maybe not.
Yeah, we had 3 medical interventions in the first 3 days of the game. We had the first 2 challenges brought to a halt because of people dropping like flies. We had a shot in the dark successfully played. We had Maddie going home with just 1 successful vote cast against her because we had an idol played from Brandon. Did it go just as fast for you, JD, as it did for TK? What'd you think? You know, zoom out, episode 1. There's a lot to break down here, but what'd you think?
Well, you know me. I was not pumped for the season to start. I never am for some reason.
Why? Because it's work?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just was like...
You're like terrified?
Not terrified. I'm just not like, here we go. Like there's a lot of scene setting, I guess, right?
There's a lot of scene setting.
There's a lot of, and I found this episode, I mean, I'm always complaining that it's too short, that Survivor's too short.
Yeah.
I think it might have been too long. It might have been too long.
It was probably too long because of the evacuation to Bruce, right?
Say.
It's usually, we get 90 minutes usually. Am I crazy?
I
Maybe we've
feel
had
like that's
2-hour
right.
premieres
It was 2
before.
hours last year.
Was
and
it?
then I think it usually goes 2 hours followed by 90-minute episode the next week.
Right.
Oh boy.
Here's why I found it a little slow.
Okay.
The challenges were extremely sluggish by design, right?
Yeah.
There was the coconut dragging,
Sweat versus Savvy, yep.
Yeah, the opening challenge was quite sluggish. I mean, there was a lot of, it's like these guys are all in their nice clean duds. Let's throw them through some mud.
Yeah,
and let's get some blood on them. We'll get to Bruce in a minute.
Yeah.
But just everything, and then everything stops, and then there's big heavy blocks, and there's just a big heavy puzzle, and then there's this the I thought it was pretty cool, but this huge big slide puzzle that's massive, and then you got to swim out there, and it's just like our man Esh never watched Survivor. And he knew he was going to be producing the show.
Yeah.
Lasted 40 minutes. 40 minutes for a new person.
Yeah, but Survivor doesn't give a shit about new people.
I know,
man. They're
exactly.
Like, we got 10 million people watching
Exactly.
whatever we put on. It doesn't matter.
Hey, listen, if there weren't...
You're right. I do agree with that. Like, if you were a new viewer, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It's
But
a lot.
For us sickos, who
and
cares?
then, if it wasn't... But even for the sickos, I mean, if there wasn't the medical intervention in both of those challenges,
Yep.
I mean, there's not much going on. It's just like a lot of slow-mo muscles rippling and everything like that. And I did think that it's pretty genius to have a slide puzzle that big and that heavy and just the amount and somebody calling and all that stuff. I usually like it, but all in one, like, it was a lot. It was just a lot.
It was taxing.
It was taxing.
Taxing
it was
for
taxing.
the people out on the island
Yeah.
and taxing for you to watch.
Well, yes, but also by the end of the episode, I'm like, when you're on the first episode, if you're on your couch going, play your idol. That's a good episode of
That is
Survivor,
true.
Great
right?
episode.
Play it, Brandon. Play it. Is it Brendan or Brandon?
Brandon.
A?
Yes.
A.
I believe so.
Brandon.
Well, now you got me.
It is Brandon.
second guessing. Don't have me
It is Brandon because I found myself.
He's a football player.
Yeah, I found myself saying, "Let's go, Brandon." I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to be saying that.
Maybe we should change it to Brandon. I didn't think of that.
Big guy. Call him Big Guy from now on.
Yeah. Okay, well, he does play his idol. I mean, again, we usually do this in chronological order, but let's just start at the end, Trey, with what was a pretty insane first tribal council with a bunch of people playing Shot in the Darks. Obviously, what was going on with Lauren and the new twist to Shipwheel Island and risking it and all that, and she's got this bank a vote thing. Jesus. We have Kane and Maddie vote for Brandon. He wisely, because JD's screaming at his television, and when everybody's suddenly not voting, probably a smart move to play it. Play it safe, live to play another day. Everybody knows you have it to begin with.
Yep.
You're a target with it on you. So he does, and of course, Maddie goes home with his one vote.
One vote.
It's crazy.
Tough one.
It's a crazy first tribal council. They're not this insane.
To get eliminated a 1-0 vote the very first time out, that was... What a surprise. And I was disappointed because, like, watching through the episode, I'm like, Maddie might be my winner pick. We'll see how things go.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a tough call. Tough call on that. Also tough having a Matthew, and Maddie all in the same
Yeah, I'm
season.
happy almost Maddie's gone.
Yeah,
Get rid
that
of
actually
one.
worked out good. But, yeah, I don't know. Last season, it was all about... And even Probst said this in, like, the pregame stuff, that he thought it was an anomaly that people never played their advantages, held on to their idols for such a long time. We saw a lot of stuff going on the very first episode here, so you got to think the players are either willing to take risks in the game or just dummies. And either way makes for an exciting episode.
I mean, it could be both.
Could be
a little
both.
bit of both, maybe. But,
Yep.
It's the new era, right? It's 26-day game.
Yeah.
They know now you got to come in hot, baby.
Yeah.
You got to come in hot. And I think the birdcage thing really ramped up the game. I thought that was a great idea, a great addition. But yeah, I mean, those guys playing their Shot in the Dark. I mean, have you ever seen a yogi so unhinged ever?
Jamie, yeah.
I mean, that game really got to her.
She just wanted to play it. It felt like she's like, I got to do something. Everybody else is doing something out
Yeah,
here.
some people I'm
That was
hearing,
so weird.
her, she just seemed paranoid and was like, I'm just doing it. I don't care. The vibe is too tense, I think she said at Tribal Council. She let everybody know she was going to do it. She becomes the first person in Survivor history, American version, of course, to successfully get the safe parchment.
It's nice to see. It
Well
was
done. It was sort of pointless in
Yeah.
the end, but... Then we learned that Matthew also did it, and that was like the shock in the tribal council.
Yes.
Like, whoa, he's doing it too. And some people are trying to twist it like it was a big galaxy brain decision on his part to avoid having to really vote, because it was like this first vote. It's going to determine where you fall in the alliances or whatever you want to call them. He didn't want to put a vote on Brandon. Maybe he had a relationship, so he sat it out by playing the Shot in the Dark. I don't know if that's true.
I agree with that.
Could be.
I do agree with that. Because, he could argue. I don't think he actually thought that he was vulnerable, but he could argue that I've dislocated my shoulder and I cut my foot open by being incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
I could easily be a target here. And also the added bonus of I'm not going to have to vote either way. So,
Yeah.
And now Kane is out there with his dick hanging out, basically.
got
He
screwed
voted
big
for
time.
Brandon, and now it's...
He didn't even want to vote for
He's like,
Exactly.
I just don't want to be on the
Exactly.
wrong side. And so now he's the only guy who did vote, and he is on the wrong
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not really. I'm not giving Matthew the benefit of the doubt on this one. It makes sense what people are saying, that he would want to kind of hide his motives and not reveal to Brandon that he was going to vote against him. But we also just saw him take a 20-foot fall off of a giant rock.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's the brightest bulb out there. And surely he was feeling a little bit targeted, right? Because we know Brandon at that time has an idol, so he's fine if he wants to.
Yeah.
And then you're looking around the tribe, you're like, meh. Maybe the guy who only has one arm is worth sending home.
Yeah.
So I can understand it from that standpoint.
The consensus seemed to be, at least amongst the guys, they were targeting Lauren, and then Maddie wanted to target and blindside Brandon. And, you know, they take that to Jamie. She sort of just straight up freaks out when they're trying to like come up with a plan with her. And then Maddie tries to convince Kane, which she obviously does, because Kane does side with her and votes for Brandon. I just hated that Maddie kept saying, I hate when any Survivor contestant does this. They keep going, we have one opportunity to flush the idol. No, you don't. You don't.
We have one opportunity tonight to flush the idol.
Yes, now that's true.
That's it.
That's
One
true.
vote
You're
tonight.
only going to one tribal council tonight, but you should just try and stay there and be in the game still, and you could do it again. But you know, she just sort of got hell bent on that, and maybe a part of it was the birdcage incident where Brandon finds the key. She thinks she sees him find the key. He then realizes, I think she saw me find the key, and hey, let's talk about it.
Right.
Okay, then we're like, ooh, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They both know how. Are they going to form an alliance? She wants to. And he says, nah.
Yeah.
Let's just tell everybody.
Right.
No, he doesn't know what's in the cage. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a bag in the cage. But, you know, this is probably leads to her follow. They didn't seem to click. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the
you know.
falling out happened right then and there.
Totally.
Yeah.
When he's like, he tells everybody, and she's like, all right, I guess I don't want to work
Well,
with
yeah, I mean, she lied to him right away. From his standpoint,
yeah.
he notices her notice him, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she says,
Well, who
if we-
lied first, though?
Her.
No,
it was her.
he tried to keep it from her.
True, but then she said, if we find it, we got to tell people. And then he's like, oh yeah, I found it. Should we tell everybody? She's like, I don't know. She flip-flopped right away.
Yeah, but what's the lie, though? Like, she changed her mind. Did she lie? She said, we're telling people, and then...
She told him something different than what she told him
the-
5 seconds ago.
Right, but
so
it
how are you going to
changes.
trust her? Like, that's their first interaction?
Yeah, I know. I get that. I get that, but I wouldn't call it a lie. I would be like, you know, you say, hey man, if we find this together, we're gonna tell everybody, right? The game changes when you actually find it.
Yeah.
And then,
But they both knew he had it.
right.
She was trying to get him to reveal the information to her.
Right.
He does, and then she's like,
Oh, so she was saying
We're
that
gonna lie.
when knowing that he had.
I will
it.
say, I think
she
Brandon
to
played
me
a-
came off a little
I see what
deceitful
you're
there.
saying.
And, and for him, like, they've known each other for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of course that's who he's going to tell.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could debate whether he should have paired up with her. They should have kept it a secret. You know, I saw some people say, oh man, you imagine with this birdcage, it could happen on the other tribes. Like, you go get it at night, you put rocks back in it. I don't know, can you lock it back up? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a smooth move by him that he realized that she probably saw him. So he's like, it's in my best interest probably to just at least talk to her about it and then to tell everybody.
Right.
Because otherwise she's probably going back to camp. She's, you know,
found something.
laying those seeds of
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah,
think
no,
he found something.
that's
He's
true.
probably got the key, you know, blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
true.
So, but it didn't go well for her in the end. And yeah, I just don't think they didn't know each other a long time. I just don't think they clicked here in
Yeah.
3 days, I guess it was. But you like this birdcage?
I loved it. I thought it was
twist?
great. It was just right there in the open, and
Yeah.
everybody's like scratching their heads, and you know, the opportunity for deception and just like, what if he did find it? What if he was able to keep the key and then just sneak in the night and do it, like you say, replace it with rocks or whatever? Future Survivor people. Especially guys, well, anybody, the taint. It's gotta go under your genitals.
But he found it and tried to, you know,
He
conceal it. And
Did he though? It was in his pocket. She could see. There was a shot of it.
it's a tiny
sticking
key,
out.
though, it felt like.
He didn't have good hiding pockets. I didn't
No,
think.
maybe that's the
Yeah,
real
it's a soft
key.
fabric short.
Yeah.
It was sticking out a little bit too
Yeah,
much.
and human nature. If they're out together and then he's just sort of going in for an adjustment, she's gonna look away. She'll look away, just out of common courtesy.
Okay. So,
It will be interesting to see how the other two tribes handle it.
Yeah.
If whoever finds the key is like let's go bust this open, because everybody's obviously knows that the cage is there. But once you see what's in the bag and you know there's a fake idol in there, it makes you think, oh, they didn't want this necessarily opened in front of everybody. Because then you have the mystery of, has it been opened yet?
Yeah.
What was even in there? So hopefully at least one of these tribes keeps it secret.
I do love that there's a decoy idol in there.
Oh yeah,
already.
there's
That's
that part
great.
too.
Yeah.
He opens it and says, "Okay,
got a
sweet,
fake
I've
idol.
got an idol and I have a fake idol."
Right.
But everybody, of course, knows on your tribe at that point. Not that I guess it could come into play later, right? If he were to make a merge and he has this thing, sure. Yeah, I like it. Fun twist. That I like it's just right there.
Yeah.
I like, especially from when you compare it to last year, where we had that hilarious scene where they were walking by like the thing like a million times, like and you're like screaming, "It's right there! It's right there!" It's like, this one is right here. But now, of course, you got to find a key,
Right.
which is like, and like. Correct me if I'm wrong, there wasn't like a piece of paint on something. Like, did he just find it in a parchment?
It looked small. It looked like, maybe the size of like a chapstick
Jeez.
or something like that. That was tiny.
Yes, yes.
It was just behind a rock kind of thing on the ground.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so Brandon survives, but let's talk about Bruce. Because Maddie's the first one voted out. Bruce is the first one to leave this game on night one. Tough look for our guy Bruce, but just smoking his head on the second part of the obstacle in that first reward challenge.
Yeah.
He got under the first beam. It was pretty close, like you said, though.
Right.
Like he just snuck under that first one, and then he got to that mud pit one, and that is where he just clocked his head. And like he like, holy crap, blood everywhere, and he stopped. And didn't he let somebody else go?
He did,
Like,
yeah.
oh man.
He
Like,
crawled back out from under the mud. Like, he was hurt. There was no doubt.
Yes. Like concussed, probably. Sort
I
of
would-
amazed that they let him continue, if I'm being
same.
honest. That's like NFL traders with the quarterbacks. So you're fine. Just play.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. Rachel was watching it with me, and when he dove under that first one, she was like, you feel it, the shock through your body. Like, that guy definitely hit his head. Like, no, they always do that. It's fine. And then as I'm saying that, it's like slow motion blood on the next one. It was crazy. Like, well, I guess sometimes they do hit their heads, and this looks bad. So, yeah.
So he continues. Then when he gets back and the rest of his tribe is taking over, that's when he drops to his knees. That's where Probst sees it.
Yeah.
And that's where we stop, or at least bring it to a halt here. The first one. And medical comes in and checks on him, and in the end they say, all right, I guess we'll just monitor you. We'll bandage you up and monitor you, and then later that night he has headaches. I mean, again, I can't. The guy was probably concussed.
Definitely.
Smoked his head on the
100%.
freaking wooden beam.
Then spent a day outside.
Yeah, he's already dehydrated. Yeah.
Leaking from the forehead in beautiful 4K.
Did they give him an IV there? Well, I didn't. Who knows how long that was actually paused for, but he definitely, the oxygen helped.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes how concussions work. That's why they're like, go see a doctor. Don't go to bed.
Well, I was
Go
going to
see a
say,
doctor.
I remember when I was had concussions when I was a kid. That was the number one thing I always remember was like my mom having to wake me up like every 30 minutes or like not really let you sleep because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So Bruce, gone too soon. I mean, look, Probst was heartbroken about this.
He loves
It's like
Bruce.
Jeff had known Bruce forever, right?
He had just met Jam Jam.
Yes.
It seemed.
Yes.
You on the corner there. What's your name? Franny? It's like, yeah, next to Bruce, my favorite person ever to play this game. Yeah, no, it's like the facade of like Jeff meeting them for the first time. When we know he's sewing like.
Yeah,
Part
he's
of
calling all of their names in the first challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did say Jam Jam's name wrong. He said it Yam Yam.
Yeah, did it? Yeah, at one point. I was confused because it is, said or spells Yam Yam on your screen.
Right.
And then it is Jam Jam, but you're right. I thought Probst also said
He
Yam
did.
Yam, so then I was really confused,
Yeah.
and Nora was getting upset with me. I'm like, it's Yam Yam. That's what Probst says. She's like, it's not. It's Jam Jam. All right. But yes, thoughts on Bruce. Though we did learn, you listened to the Probst podcast.
Yeah.
He's coming back. Like, this guy has an open invite to come back.
Yeah, and it seemed like he was making the announcement on the show. Like, I don't know if he even said anything to Bruce. Like, it was like, hey, it's an open invitation. Anytime you want to come back, you can come back. So Does he have Jeff's number? Like, does he just call casting? Like, how does this work? Like,
He knows something.
I mean, I'm happy for him.
yeah.
Like that's a crappy way to go out. Though you could then be like, well, what about the other
Yeah,
people?
all of
What about
them.
the guy that hurt his back on the boat ride?
Yeah.
Pat.
No, Jeff wouldn't want
We
that.
call him back Pat. Rough seas got
Guy
him.
can't handle a boat ride. You cannot play Survivor.
Bruce can't handle going under wood. I mean,
No,
sucks.
hold on. There's riding on a boat,
yeah.
just bopping along, and then there's diving under into mud.
yeah. He's
Putting
competing.
He's competing. Yeah,
Yeah.
This guy couldn't.
So you're saying if I believe it was Jamie when she first got out of the boat to go to the mats, she wiped out.
Yeah.
But if she had like broken her leg, Probst's been like, get out of here. We're
Yeah.
not having you back. Okay. Yeah, as long as it happens in a challenge, you're
a challenge
Probst is like-
or playing the game somehow.
Okay.
But just riding a
day
boat.
one. You gotta get evacuated day one if you're getting invited back. Because if it gets to day two, it's like, sorry, you had your one night.
Thoughts on the new Shipwheel Island and the new advantages, which we saw a couple of. We had Sarah, Matt, and Lauren all making this adventure. But the twist is now it's like, hey, just reach into a bag. You
Yeah.
got to. First
Yeah.
off. And then you either are pulling out an advantage or you're pulling out, sorry, you lost your vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that happens, hey, there's two more in there, 50-50 chance
Yeah,
at the advantage or, losing another vote. And all three versions basically hit, right? Sarah pulled this brand new inheritance advantage, but she lost one vote.
Yes.
Matt, not so lucky. He lost both votes at the next two tribal councils, and then Lauren pulled the bank your vote advantage, which is sort of like a double vote, right?
Yeah, it's like an extra vote, but you
extra vote,
sacrifice.
You sacrificed
current
your vote, which she did already, so she has two. What do you think of this new twist to it?
I mean, sure, I like it. I mean, the inheritance one I kind of don't get because I think you're supposed to tell Jeff before people vote, or
I think you tell them or play it, if you want to call it that, in the voting booth. So yes, before in theory,
in private.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Dalton Ross has the lowdown on this because I first took this advantage as, all right, let's just say a wild tribal council happens,
Yeah.
an idol's played, a double vote's played, and then you just get to go, hold on, those are mine,
Yeah.
thank you,
Has your wire.
right then and there.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Okay.
That all happens, but you have to guess it's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
before it. Obviously, these things are played, so you're doing that in the voting booth. You're playing this inheritance advantage, and then all the crap still goes down. You hopefully survive the night, and then the next day,
It's
all that
secretly given
stuff
to you.
that was played is given to you. I believe in secret, and I
That's
don't think
good.
Probst is like telling everybody. Yeah, pretty powerful. So
Very.
it's like got knowledge is power vibes to it
Mm-hmm.
because you got to know when to do it, know who has it, hope it's being played.
Right.
But
But you don't have to get people to tell the truth or
No.
something
Yeah,
like that.
you don't have
so
to ask them a question.
we'll see if obviously it even comes into play. But yeah, what do you think? You like this?
Yeah.
Too much? What do you? No?
I like that a choice is forced right away on
Yeah.
these people, and I guess unfortunately maybe it doesn't really even matter, the fact that it's not like you have to be on the same page with regards to risking and rewarding. Maybe that takes away a little bit from the journey that they go on. We didn't really see anything
No.
from the
Yeah.
journey.
No.
It makes it
Yeah.
even less important.
Yep.
But it makes the choice pretty important. And yeah, inheritance advantage seems like it's going to be a powerful one.
Oh.
If who got that? Sarah, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
If she can hang on to it for long enough to know the lay of the land and when somebody might actually play it, that one could be a super powerful one. Bank your vote. I think it's cool that it gives you a way to like have a built-in lie. Well, like when your vote doesn't show up, you just say, I lost my vote.
Right.
They don't know you're getting the second one. Further down the line, extra vote doesn't usually pay off
Right.
in the long run, but it might with this one.
Yeah, and small tribes right now too,
Yep.
so that extra vote could play off. Yeah, for the lies, that was always fun to see, like what they come back and say to their tribe. So Matt says and shows his green tribe, Soku, that he lost one vote. So he didn't say 2 votes, he said 1 vote. He shows them the parchment. Okay. Sarah says she risked her vote. She's playing the classic Shipwheel Island game. So because they've seen that, right? So she's
Right.
just saying that's what happened. She doesn't know her fate yet when it comes to whether she has the vote or not.
Right.
Because she just says she's risked it. And then Lauren lies and says she lost her vote. Which, fine, an interesting decision, but it worked out because, like you said, because of the bank your vote, she doesn't have a vote, so it's not like a vote's going to show up and then be like, hold on, you were lying.
Right.
But they're just not going to know that she has this.
There was one
advantage.
part that I was confused, and I kind of got in the weeds on this because Lauren, she told everybody that she didn't have a vote, but then when Maddie was trying to say, let's get Brendan out, we've got the numbers, she was seemed to be including Lauren in those numbers, so I'm not sure if...
Right.
So maybe I missed something, or I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. And we had, I believe it was Claire, during the actual challenge, the immunity challenge at the end. Matthew's sitting out because of his bum shoulder. Claire's out numbers-wise, and she goes, excuse me. Straight excuse me, I loved. And asks Matthew, she just wants to, like, hey, what's the story you got? Like, what was going on when that person came back from Shipwheel Island? What'd they tell you? Because she says, our guy, he showed us. Matt,
right?
She's telling this to Matthew. It gets confusing, but Green Matt is showing us that he didn't have his vote, and then Matthew's like, "Oh, well, Lauren didn't show us anything." So I mean, that maybe was baked in a little bit to the chaos of this this tribal council that they ultimately go to.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like that.
I love that gameplay. I love I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I thought pretty smooth from Claire to play the game at all at that point when. Going into that tribal, they're probably all thinking, we're all running in this tribal because they don't know that Bruce is gone at that point, which is why they had to sit out in the first place. I do think Lauren can recover just by saying, count the votes. I didn't vote.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might not totally come back to bite her, but there's a little of intrigue on whether or not it will.
Yeah.
Who are some other standout players from episode 1? Who's one of your favorites right now?
I really do like Matthew, even though it was an incredibly boneheaded thing to do, to climb up. But we saw Cody do it, and Cody was fine, Was it the same cliff that he flipped off of?
Yeah, the same rock? I don't know. I would assume so,
Maybe?
but I don't know.
I don't know.
It felt like
I actually don't know.
But Matthew wouldn't have seen that, I don't think.
I don't.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they shot 43, 44.
Oh, you're right.
Back
you're right.
Yeah.
To
You're
back.
right.
So
Yeah.
he's got. I mean, I'd love to see if he's got an ass tattoo. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
He's got a joie de vivre, but like that tribe in general. If this was
Orange
Brain's
tribe?
the Orange Tribe, yeah. I mean, picking the coconuts was a mistake.
Yep. Sweat.
It almost killed them. And to be fair to them, I was looking on TV, looking at those coconuts, going, I mean,
It didn't
it
look
doesn't
that
look
bad.
that bad.
Yeah,
They're
you're right.
coconuts. How bad could it be? Well, very bad. That guy, Brandon, played in the NFL, and he struggled.
He said that this was like one of the toughest things he's ever done.
Yeah. And it was a mistake because, hey, Ash, you got that picture that I gave you, the beast mode picture? Let's throw that up there. Because this was the first challenge, right? So
What am I looking at?
You're looking, yeah, I saw this out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what's happening here? So that is Maddie standing on Brandon's shoulders, right? Because she's looking at the puzzle. She's trying to help with the puzzle pieces in the distance because they all have to stand behind that log.
Right.
And so she's trying to call out. But she's standing on his shoulders, right? Then right after this, he does coconuts with Matthew.
Yep.
And then Matthew falls off a cliff. Okay, come off of this, right? And then what happens in the next challenge?
He cramps up.
Completely gasps out.
Yeah.
He gasses out. Never pick the brawn. If you have the choice, just take the risk. Do the puzzle. I
don't think they would have got it.
I think you're right. I think that's true. But they may have had a better chance in that other challenge. I don't know. And maybe
You're basically you're giving me the equivalent of they should have load management.
yes, it's
Don't play
Survivor.
back-to-backs.
Yeah, it's not the NBA. It's not like you can have like after the coconuts. The only thing you have to look forward to are the coconuts to eat and replenish yourself, right? Yeah. And then you have no water, like you may not have fire, right? Mm-hmm. So you gotta pace yourself.
Pace yourself.
But I do think you're right. I think a couple things. One, I think they're scared of the brain teaser with the 15-minute time limit.
Yes.
That is not a lot. I feel like in previous Savvies, you were given a lot more time. You may have been given infinite time, and you just had to get your final
and multiple guesses.
Sometimes, yeah, was
Sometimes,
it? Yeah, definitely was one once. But anyway,
yeah.
And then you're right. It, like when you saw the coconuts, they didn't look that far apart, and it was like we're two big guys. I guess we can do this in 4 hours.
Yeah.
But holy crap, maybe it was the size of that net or the bag, the sand portion. I think maybe they didn't think about all that much.
Yeah.
And what's a coconut weigh? What is it?
2 pounds.
Okay.
I don't know.
2 pounds? How many were there? 100? 50 in each pile?
Yeah.
What were they playing for?
A pot, machete, and
There's the supplies.
yeah,
right?
your basic supplies.
It ain't worth the effort to do the brawn or to do the sweat.
What?
If you miss it on Savvy, people will be like, oh man, that was hard. That was tough.
Yeah.
That's what they'll
I'm
say.
saying.
And then you'll win in a challenge and Jeff will give you everything eventually within
Exactly.
2 days. So
Yeah.
don't gas yourself out. And if you do gas yourself out, you don't have to climb up a rock then.
Exactly.
It's his bucket list. You don't have to check it all off on day one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, again, I like the guy. I like Matthew a lot. I like Brandon a lot. I like this tribe. I like this cast. Matthew, I think the fall it obviously knocked some sense into him.
Yep.
Injured him, unfortunately. He's probably going to be out physically for the entire rest of the game, right? Like,
You think so?
well, they're like, you can't carry anything. Put your arm in a sling.
Did say that.
I mean, they took his arm out of the sling to go to the challenge.
Yeah.
And then they're like, why are you sitting out your biggest guy, one of your biggest guy, your second biggest guy?
Yeah.
And then the other biggest guy goes down with heat stroke.
True.
So, I mean, I think they're smart enough to be strategic. They seem to be super fans. But now we're going to see Matthew's going to have to play a game of wits. Like he's going to have to outlast. It's not going to be the physical game that I think he was expecting to play. So
Sure.
I'm very interested to see how he regroups. He might be next gone, but he might actually go far.
Or he might fall into like the Tyson, like purposely playing up an injury back in his day. Like, I mean, I'm not going to win this. I'm useless out here. Everybody just keeps him around. We had Helen and Carson. They did the rings. They did the savvy.
Yep.
Nailed it. I mean, again, only 15 minutes. You don't have a ton of time. They were talking about things. What did they say? What did they call it?
The equator and the nexus.
Nexus. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And they nail it. So Helen, Carson, and Sarah on that Purple Tribe Tika, I think they formed like a little quick little young alliance.
Yes.
I feel like they're all fairly young, all fairly fit, and they seem to like each other. So maybe that'll be something to watch going forward. We got to talk about Carolyn.
Yes. How did we get this far without
I don't know.
talking about Carolyn?
What a start. Let's start there. The cold open, where we hear for the first time ever, maybe, at least in this context, a producer telling the person, Caroline, is it Carolyn or Caroline? I don't know how you say it, but
That's Carolyn.
okay. Telling her, like, this is how we do this. Like, you just got to talk to the camera here
Yeah.
and say, your name, where you're from, and all that. And, like, that was the cold open to be like, wow, this is a wild card character. And then we got a lot more from her. This whole dilemma of, like, should I be talking to them? They're not talking to me. What do I do? She's self-proclaimed loud, and little crazy, little zany. Good character.
Great character.
And, I'd read a little bit about her and heard some things about her. Like, she is a Survivor fan. Like, she's not coming into this, like, what the hell is this game? This seems like a fun adventure. Like, she apparently, like, knows the game really well. And I thought she did a pretty good job of, like, at least to catch herself, even when she wanted to go and insert herself into conversation stuff. Like, she's like, maybe I shouldn't.
Right.
She's self-aware
Yes.
of maybe the type of personality she is. But what do you think of her first scene and then the first episode?
I thought it was a little weird to start the season by basically dunking on a character. I thought that was just a strange way to go about things, but also we've had seasons start where Jeff, like, creeps around and he's talking straight to us. Hey, you want to come on Survivor? We're starting Survivor. But who knows? Marianne won Survivor. Gabler won Survivor.
Exactly.
I'm not ruling anybody out at
No.
this point, and if she knows the game and if she's self-aware about how she's going to come off to people, playing it up maybe is not the dumbest idea, because then people are like, she ain't gonna win. We can just keep her around.
Yeah.
We can get rid of her at any time, and then next thing you know, Gabler's winning Survivor.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It is worrisome that she's self-aware enough to know that, hey, nobody's talking to me, and I need to get out there and talk, but I also don't want to be that woman, that person. to do that.
And she lost Bruce, who she even said was
yeah.
like, that was like the one connection I had.
Yeah.
So that's like,
Which is unfortunate for her. And then when she was it Helen she was talking to? And she was literally saying, I don't want to be that person. And then Helen's making that face like, well, you kind of are that person. You know what I mean? Like she's being very polite and nodding and like, oh, no, it's fine. But I mean, she's an eccentric person. There's no doubt about it. And that's eccentric people historically either make it to the very end of the game or they go very, very early.
Right.
I hope she sticks around because I think she's great. I love her energy.
when she took off her pants to try and throw the ring up the pole, I was
there
dying.
was that, but also when she got to the ring, it was like the reckless, like unbridled, hysterical fun she was having, right? Like Jeff's literally like, she's acting like she's at an arcade, which is like, if I saw somebody acting like that at an arcade, I'd probably maybe think, should we get some help over here? Like, does she require some assistance? But she was, she was not very good at that challenge, and taking the pants off, I don't think helped.
No. But
awesome.
then later in the second challenge,
great.
she says she did pee her pants.
Yeah, you know what, Phil? My wife says that all the time.
Take your pants off if you're gonna pee your pants. That's all I'm saying. Then you're not peeing your pants.
But she peed her pants because she was excited about winning the challenge.
Yeah.
That's a normal.
Oh, I thought it was from pure exertion. Like
interesting.
marathon style.
No, I thought it was like it was the group hug.
Celebration.
That's what I thought.
That makes
The
more
jumping
sense.
up and down, and hey, the women out there, they know. She's had a baby. She's talked about her son.
Okay.
The bladder is not. It never goes back. It never comes back.
Any other notes from this 2-hour premiere? Anything else?
I did love during the gigantic slide puzzle portion of the challenge, Jam just rolling on his back from like position to position. I thought was a hilarious way to like navigate that challenge. Anytime he was on screen was just delightful.
Oh, totally.
He was very funny.
Instant.
I was worried in that challenge. I was like, I don't know how they're gonna get that chest up the beach.
Right.
After that gets out of the water, which is a little buoyant, I was like, do they have the power to get this giant chest up? Now, they wisely started flipping it, and I guess one of the other tribes had to do that too. The one powered it up, but I was like, they just like, when they lost Bruce, they are not a strong team.
No.
I think their females are like athletic, but there's just not a lot of strength.
Yeah.
And in these first couple challenges, it was a lot of that. But wise to just topple it over slowly but surely.
Was there anything in the chest? Like,
I don't know, but it
what was
looked
the
heavy as
purpose
hell.
of it? Just to pull it
to
out.
do that pull thing.
Usually there's puzzle pieces or something.
Yeah, right.
There's usually something there.
Now they're just being dicks. It's just like, let's fill it with concrete.
Very excited about what appears to be a showmance between Green Matt, and Franny on the Soku tribe. And this was we usually avoid all spoilers. Like, I don't do any research really about these people coming in. I want that first episode to be fresh.
Yep.
But I did see one headline heading in. It was like, the first showmance in 7 seasons of Survivor.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, okay, and I got to assume it's this.
That is good. With next week on Survivor, that's what we.
Next week on Survivor.
we
Yes,
got a
the
little bit
episode next week is even called Two Dorky Magnets.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm guessing it's going to be Matt and Franny, who have like the same energy.
Yeah.
Which seem to be clicking here.
There are a lot of dorks on this cast. No, this is from a dork.
Yes.
There's a lot of dorks.
So maybe it's not them. Maybe it's not titled
It's
after them.
definitely them. They were canoodling in the preview, and they were also really, really touchy-feely in this episode.
Yes.
They were just like, I was getting uncomfortable. I was like,
Oh, I love it.
I love a showmance too, but I don't want anyone to be, keep your,
Yes.
be respectful. But they both seemed consenting.
They did. And we'll see if it materializes.
It feels like he is going to need her from a gameplay standpoint now that he can't vote in their first 2 tribal councils. So he's going to have to get the information from somebody and feel comfortable enough where he stands in the tribe. So lock it down.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Lock it
Franny.
in.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into tree mail, answer a few of your questions, and share some more random notes from episode 1. Don't go anywhere.
Give me a round of applause if you love cereal.
Yes.
All right, all my cereal heads, stand up. If you cerealsly love cereal, then you gotta holler at Magic Spoon. Y'all know what the spoon is about at this point. They've replicated your favorite childhood cereals to taste good, but each serving contains at most a single gram of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs per serving. It's a keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to get your cereal on. Plus, it's only 140 calories a serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful. Wonder if that's how they got the name.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. With over 8 unique flavors, you won't get bored of feeling good with Magic Spoon. Cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, honey nut, cookies and cream, and cinnamon roll, and oh yeah, birthday cake is back! As a recent birthday haver, you know I love that they brought it back, and let me say that it's back. Head to magicspoon.com/nodunks today to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. Use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. And don't forget, Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Get your next bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this classic.
Thank you indeed. All right, back with No Buffs here in the Classic Factory, our buddy Jeff Probst. Hey, congrats on the new podcast, Jeff.
It was great. I loved it.
You listened?
I did listen, and I enjoyed it. Heavily edited.
Oh.
Like, almost, there were a couple parts where it was just like, is he punching this in? Like he forgot to say something, you know? Like, it was a little sloppy edit. Where's my camera there? A little sloppy there, Jeff. But I really enjoyed it. There's some, some parts are like, okay, the sickos know all this stuff.
Yeah.
But there was actually some little tidbits that were like, okay, this is interesting. I like this. So
okay,
worth checking out.
All right. And hey, look, Jeff, you're going to rise to the top of the Survivor podcast rankings. That's how Apple works, okay? New show, a lot of people coming in, downloading it, a lot of 5-star reviews right off the top. But let's just see if you can sustain it, okay? That's all I'm saying. Everybody starts a podcast like, oh, we're number one.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're number one in a couple months, okay? It's a weird algorithm going on over there at Apple, but
Got a lot of subscribers last night when they showed that little cartoon of Jeff.
Cartoon Jeff. What's the podcast called again? On Fire with Jeff Probst?
On Fire, which I actually quite like because
That's not bad.
Like on
Pretty good.
About fire. On
Yeah.
fire, and he's on fire.
What were you about to say?
I was the post roll. Rob has a podcast, so there was an ad for Rob has a podcast after. So we got to get on there.
Wow, good for Rob.
Yeah.
The Survivor know-it-alls.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's get into tree mail. Tree mail. You can email us, nodunks@theathletic.com. Put no buffs in the subject header. Or the best way to get your questions answered here on the show, I don't know. Every Thursday morning, sometimes Wednesday night, I'll just throw up a post asking for your questions on Twitter. So keep an eye for that. Follow me at @JESkeets. We retweet it from the No Dunks Inc. account as well. That's the easiest way. And our first one, it's not even a question, it's a comment. Sean, he just wrote in to say, in all caps locks, now that's how you start a season of Survivor! What do you think of the medieval theme that we got going on here? Tribal council, the sword and the shield, idols,
A chessboard.
Chessboard, yeah.
You know, strategy.
Okay, I know I always say this, but this has to be the season where there's an advantage under one of those chessboard pieces, right?
Yes.
Something. Gotta be, it's
check.
right there. Or like somebody was saying, like, if you put in the correct, like, chess maneuver, it unlocks an advantage. Do it!
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty
You just
cool.
have to. It's set up so that the board is almost at checkmate. You just have to move the queen, and then it's checkmate, and then a little ribbon falls down and says, "You just got yourself a hidden immunity idol." Boom.
Be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, medieval theme. You in? You out? I mean, what?
It doesn't feel like Survivor to me. A sword and a shield. I also don't know how the sword kept making an unsheathing metallic sound.
Yeah, that was added. It's like,
But he just like hands it to the people. They grab it by the blade. Ah! Sorry, evacuate him out of here. Death by sword idol. But I don't know. I always get hyped when I see the idol statue sitting there the first time. What's it gonna look like when they finally unveil it? Cool.
It was unique.
Yeah,
it was very unique.
I thought it was badass. I loved it. It was very Zelda, a little.
Very
The
Zelda.
shield and the sword and the sound effect is great. Because let's be honest though, if you didn't hear the shing, it'd be weird. It would
definitely be weird,
It would
yeah.
be like, why aren't we hearing a shit? Like, is it not even a sword? But yeah, you have to hear it. It's
gotta
like
hear it.
sound editing 101. Every door creaks and you gotta make a swing.
Nora was wondering with the sword and shield. She was like, "Is this like a tie-in to the Dungeons and Dragons
That's what I was
movie that they
thinking.
keep showing us?" I was like, "Whoa, I don't think so."
It could be.
Maybe.
I didn't mind it. I thought, I was with Kane.
Kane.
When he's like sick. This is dope. He's walking up to it like. I thought the same thing. I thought this is kind of cool, like the dragons, and I love all that shit.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that it just came out of nowhere. Like it was just sort of like the first hint that there was a medieval theme. I guess maybe it was the birdcage because there's a little dragon on top of it. Maybe. But then it's the sword and the shield, and it's like, okay, this is way off of anything we've seen before.
Yeah.
It felt
Way
like.
off.
And then we're walking into tribal council. It's like, okay, well, I guess we're in medieval Fiji,
Yeah.
which is a thing, I
I-
guess.
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering, are they a little concerned about Traitors? The show on Peacock, the reality show with some Survivor alumni on it.
What would they be concerned
They're in a
about?
Scotland castle. There's a lot of medieval vibes. They're like, oh, people are into this.
There's just room for both.
Well, there is. There is.
But yeah, that's a great point. though.
Is it? You just shat all over it. I guess it's not.
I think they're just, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been in Fiji too long. But
It's like, what, guys, you gonna do pirates again?
you think we'll have a podcast theme?
Ooh.
Sound baffling all around tribal council. Mics all set up for them.
And now Jeff's, Jeff's
One
in the
tribe
game.
gets microphones, one tribe gets in-ear monitors. I do think you could lose the sword or the shield, though. They seem easy to misplace. Easier than like a statue of a lion or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and they bring their machete.
Yeah.
We
got
just try
this.
to pass it off.
It's fine.
One other random note I had was I did love, and I'm a sucker for this because it plays into the history of the show being on the air for 22 freaking years. They did that cool little, I guess, retrospect, little highlight reel
Yeah.
at the start of the episode. I just love that stuff. I love like this show's been around long. I mean, flaunt it, man. See the quick highlights. See like these quick iconic moments.
Yeah.
I love when they do that. So I thought that was well done.
Yeah, I agree. Very, very nice to see. And they're going to continue to lean into the history of the show and the mythology of the show. And
Yeah.
maybe that's why we're knights and dragons. Who knows?
It's possible.
Ooh, Greek mythology next. Or
That's not bad.
something like that.
Yeah,
You know?
sure. We can try it all. I mean, we got probably another 50 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
I did have this question for you. Is Jam Jam one of the greatest named Survivor players of all time? And there's been some good ones. He's got to be on the short list already.
Yeah.
And just his
up
care
there.
and his vibe.
Totally.
and
Yeah.
He's already a favorite. Because
I don't think there's a better name.
do you
than
remember? I don't know if it was on last season's No Buffs, the year before. I know Tyson had brought up Team Cutie Pies,
Right.
and we were trying to figure out like who's on that. Ty, Nasir,
Yeah.
and we were struggling to find a third one. It's Jam Jam.
Jam.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Those to me, those are our captains for Survivor Team Cutie Pies.
Yeah. Yep.
So do it. Do it. Any other random notes? Anything else in the?
I'm just thinking of good Survivor names, and I keep coming back to Shambo and Dreams.
Yeah, those are great.
Dreams. Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a whole season. Just the best named
names.
Survivor players. Okay, next one from Tommy. This is another tweet. Who comes out on top in the Ratu power struggle? Ratu, Orange Tribe. Just to reiterate that. Did Matthew use his shot in the dark to avoid getting any blood on his hands and to remain in a neutral position? We sort of brought that up. You think that it's a possibility.
I think it's a possibility.
Trey is less into that, maybe. You know, who knows? We could find out too next week. Could have a scene of Matthew talking to Brandon. Hey, I told you to play the idol.
Right.
You know, like blah blah blah. But who comes out here in this tribe? Orange. Does Kane go back? Does Kane go back to the guys? Does Matthew go instead now that Brandon has no power? You know, it's targeting him. Like, who knows?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say right now in the power rankings, it's Lauren is on top. Because she now has an extra vote, and she seems to have gotten away with not having lying to them. And well, we'll see. We'll find out. But she seems to be the one that is playing the game the best right now. I would say. But I think Brandon's going to be mad. Kane is going to be possibly on the receiving end of that anger. So, yeah, I would say it's Lauren. Okay. Lauren is the number one right there.
I'm with you. I think she was kind of clearly the best player from that tribe in episode 1. Like, she had a good lie lined up for everything, but then the evacuation happened and it kind of jinxed her game a little bit, whereas everybody else, I feel like, made a pretty drastic mistake. And I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for Matthew in the game. I think he will be a fun pre-merge character. But I think Brandon will recover just fine because he was more upset having the idol in the first place.
Right.
Now he played it successfully. Nobody cares anymore that you have a fake idol. We all know it's fake. We all know what it looks like. If it comes out, you're not going to be scaring anybody with it. So wouldn't be surprised if he's able to reintegrate himself with other players there.
Yeah. And don't forget that Lauren engineered herself to go on the journey in the first place, right?
Oh,
with
that was
the rocks,
slick.
which is very slick.
So she said she picked the 6 rocks that they drew from.
Yeah.
And the idea knowing because she picked them, the feel of the gray rock or whatever.
Presumably, yeah. She's just...
That's pretty badass.
It is very badass.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going on that trip, and these dummies... They're not going to figure it out, and they didn't.
I always love, we were talking about this before we even started today's No Dunks podcast, you have one tribe that's nobody wants to go. You have another tribe, everybody wants to go. It's I love how it changes just the dynamics of this Shipwheel Island. They think they know how it works. It's obviously similar, but it's different because they've seen a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, I feel like one team even drew whoever got the longer stick had to go.
Right.
The other one did the more short stick, short straw. They couldn't, and then the rocks. I guess they're all coming up with different ways. But it was Sarah, it was Lauren, and it was Matt.
Right.
Next one, Zachary. Oh, good to have Zach back in our lives here. We got some classic names. Zach and Doug. On the debut of his podcast, this is Zachary. Probst said Bruce will be invited back. So 2 parts here. If you're another person who went home early, Pat from David versus Goliath, Jackson from 42, how pissed would you be? Okay, about this idea that Probst just loves them some Bruce. And he's like, come on back. And when do you think we will see returnees again? So first part. These other first boots or first medvacs, whatever, are they upset with Bruce getting the Play Survivor whenever you want card?
I mean, does anybody have that card ever?
It's a great point.
Has anyone just been given an open invitation to play Survivor ever? I don't think it's ever happened.
Well,
I mean,
maybe it was publicly.
Yeah, not
yeah,
right.
Fair enough. But god damn, I'd be pissed. I'd be furious.
What happened to Jackson on Survivor 42? I don't remember.
I mean, this is the hilarious thing as well. It's everybody literally in tears about Bruce leaving. He was sent off, and and most of the time, I don't even know who Jackson is. Who is Jackson? It's a tearful goodbye. I love that guy. I hope he plays again. And now he's left my life forever.
I know. Well,
Jackson,
I literally have no idea.
Last year's was Mariah, I believe.
Mariah was the first boot, yeah.
Yeah, last year. Okay, who's Jackson? Go ahead.
Jackson was weaning himself off of lithium. And there were risks involved with that he didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
That's probably why he doesn't get the carte blanche. You can come back anytime. You lied to us the first time.
Right. Yes.
Pat, I think, has a beef. Boat Pat does have a beef.
No.
To get rattled up. He got rattled hard, JD. It was a choppy day on the water.
Everybody was on that boat.
Yeah, but not where he was sitting. In particular, in the boat.
Yeah, not where he was sitting.
Caught a bad wave.
They all
Or
caught
driving.
that wave. Listen, if you're in a boat, you have to. It's like riding a horse. You have to sort of brace yourself. You know, you have to be ready for that.
Right.
Jeff does not have time for people who can't ride in boats. It's that simple.
Okay, when do you think we see returnees again? That's got to be right around the corner, right? My gut says 45 or 46. That we have an incredible pool of players here. I assume we're sticking new era here, so 41 on. We're already, it looks like 4 just banger seasons. We're every time we do no buffs at the end, we're like, oh, that person could come back, that person could come back, that person could come back. It's like feels like 6-7 people. So
I think it's going to be 45. I think it's going to be next.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Bruce will be there.
Bruce, I think, will be there. Why not do all medevacs? Do we have enough? We might have enough.
Well, over
be
the
at this
history of the
point,
show, yeah. Oh,
the good ones, though. Not the boat guy. You know what? Give Jackson a chance.
Okay.
Jackson was into the game.
Beast mode. He was a medical evacuation.
Who?
Yeah.
The guy that was on Big Brother.
Oh.
Caleb.
Caleb. Yeah,
Caleb. Yeah.
He was buddies with Ty, I think. Didn't they hit it off? Did I have that right?
Yeah.
You might be right.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring him back. Maybe like Medivacs versus Cutie Pies or something.
Oh, well, what about first boots versus
First boots
Medivacs?
I don't know. They're first boots for a reason. I don't think they would ever do that.
Nah, probably not.
It's too risky.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a resume to fall back on of knowing they're an exciting player. It's like you got voted off first. Like I mean, bad luck, honestly, to Maddie with the way this went down. I kind of think she should get invited back with the way everything went, but most of the time you're going first for a reason.
Yeah, I think, okay, Maddie is one of the exceptions. I think, actually, in the new era, the first boots, some of them could come back, for sure. Also, I don't want it to be all new school. I want to see some old school players play in this new era. The shorter game. I want to see the.
That's interesting.
I want to see the old.
Well, let's do old era versus new era.
Yeah, why not?
In the new game. That should be sort of fun.
That's a good idea.
And then flip it, and then do the new era in the old and 39 days.
Or no, take it one step further. Tell them they're playing 26 days, but when they get to day 26, they say, "No, we're playing old school rules now."
You're starting a whole 39-day season now.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's right. We're voting people back in.
Oh yeah. All right, Doug G, always coming through with fun questions. This one, it made me laugh. Is Bruce the most unlucky contestant name in Survivor history? 2 contestants, 2 medevacs. Bruce from way back in what is that? 13? Survivor 13, I want to say.
Was it 13?
It was with Shane Powers, so it was that one. Where Bruce gets bunged up.
Oh my god.
Couldn't poop for what, 12 days? Maybe longer. He lasted long. He was there like till day 25. I know it was a longer season, but
and he was doing well. He was
doing very well.
Literally, his body just gave out on him. Really,
he got to the point where he couldn't eat either.
Yeah.
Because he could not crap.
Yeah. Well, and we've had people. Didn't we have an older guy who like pigged out on steak? But that was within one day, right?
Yeah. What was that guy's name?
Did he get
guy
medevac?
who eats?
I don't know.
Guy who ate too much steak.
I think he left.
Trey's searching for some crazy.
Guy who
things.
ate too much steak. Survivor.
Yeah. He just went to town. He ate all this meat.
Joe.
And did he get medevac?
Yes. Yes.
After a lunch. Had lunch.
71-year-old former FBI agent.
Oh yeah.
Evacuated from the game at Final 5 for eating too much steak. That's a tough
way to
loss
go.
for Joe.
It's like that could be the worst. That could be the worst.
You think that's worse than riding a boat incorrectly? Or not being able to crap? I mean, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, but...
Well, that was the problem with him.
With who? Bruce?
With the other guy.
Oh.
Joe. He also is like, I'm feeling a little constipated.
Yeah, but that happened over a very small window.
Yeah, I
feel
know.
like.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember original Bruce not being able to shit for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. The guy's on Iron Man. He's a fucking Iron Man.
He was cool. I did like him.
It was like this guy.
He got super drunk in the porta potty that one night. Didn't they give him a bunch of
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
wine? Yeah. He's hilarious.
Okay,
bring him
bring
back.
Bruce back.
Bruce versus Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce. 2 Bruces. It's Bruce versus Bruce. They're the captains, and they just pick. Schoolyard pick on the beach.
Okay.
Jeff, this is gold. This is
Bruce
gold,
versus
Jeff.
Bruce is a hilarious name for a Survivor season.
Bruce versus.
It's an unlucky name, though. Somebody was crunching the numbers. It's been unfortunate to be a female with the name that starts with the letter M.
Okay.
Outside of course, who just won?
Marianne.
Marianne. But a lot of M's, females, they go very early in the game. Maddie, another one last night.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Because of M. What about Michelle Fitzgerald? She
Winner,
She
yeah.
won.
That was a while ago now, but yeah, I guess I think this is somewhat new era. I don't know. Final one from Perkis. I believe we have a photo for this one. Did the doctor look like Tom York to anyone else?
I mean,
We're showing it to
not
everybody
this
on
one.
YouTube.
Go to
this photo.
Try the
No.
next one.
Oh, we got a couple.
Who does he look like there? He sounds to me like Murray from Flight of the Conchords, Rhys Darby.
Okay. Is this Dr. Will? Did we get a name?
I saw somebody tweet that it was Will, and I thought that. Now here he looks like Tom.
That's most Tom York right
Tom
there.
York, yeah. We have a split screen,
Okay.
so I kind of see it.
Oh yeah, there is a deleted scene where he whispers in Bruce's ear, "You do it to yourself, you do." Yeah, some similarities.
A little bit.
This guy got a lot of screen time last night.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope we don't see him again because that just means somebody's been injured. But
Sure. Yep.
if he comes, or go back and watch the episode, he sounds like Rhys Darby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's.
Is he in New Zealand?
Maybe he is.
Well, he might be.
He could be,
Yeah.
for all we know. It's not far from Fiji, right?
No, it's right next
think.
to it. Really, I mean, next to it. If you're playing Risk, it's right there.
Yeah, okay. Well, let us know. Do you think Dr. Will, I think his name is, does he look like Tom York or maybe he looks like somebody else to you? Keep the questions coming. We absolutely love it. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap up this bad boy and let you know about the Make Your Picks No Buffs Fantasy Survivor Pool. It's back, baby.
Yes.
We'll explain after the break.
A whole aisle dedicated to them at stores. You walk in a store, seltzer aisle. I want them separated even further. Real ones and fake ones. Because the fake ones are the ones I do not want. And neutral would be in the real section. There's a huge difference between the real ones and the fake ones. You can taste it when it hits your lips. Neutral is made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Yeah, real ones. That's my aisle. And they have great flavors. Neutral comes in 12 flavors. They got the fruits, pineapple, watermelon, raspberry, and mango. They got the lemonades, classic, peach, blackberry, and strawberry lemonade. And then they got the cranberries, which I know you like, Skeets. We got 4 cranberry flavors. Classic cran, grapefruit cran, apple cran, and orange cran.
That's a lot of cran.
That's a lot of cran. You're always hunting the cran around the Thanksgiving season, right?
Oh, yes. That and the raspberries.
Okay. Cran hunter.
Coming up on HGTV, Cran Hunter. A man just walks around the aisles trying to find cranberries.
Hey, it's hard to find here in the U.S. Yeah, that's why you're scrapping for it. Anyways, Neutral's got you covered. Neutral has a deliciously clean taste and light, refreshing flavor. It's the ultimate seltzer upgrade with real vodka and better taste. Have one during March Madness. Why the heck not? So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Check them out in the real aisle. You can hunt them there. Check them out on Instagram as well, at Neutral. Find Neutral in stores at your favorite bar or learn more at neutralusa.com. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut.
All right, back here with No Buffs. One more fun tweet that was sent in late from our guy Gourmet Spud up in Toronto. Hey, Wendell and Bryce had their show in Toronto last night.
Oh, really?
Yes, I believe their first ever episode, live viewing experience north of the border
Nice.
there. Yes.
Where do they have it?
I don't know. I don't know. But Wendell did send me a clip of a No Dunks fan with him, obviously at the live show. So
Sweet.
good stuff. I hope it was a blast. But yeah, Gourmet Spud up in Toronto. He was talking about Matthew climbing the rock and falling. He says, because of this idiot, is Survivor going to need a disclaimer at the start of each episode? Not to try this at home like they do for wrestling. Also, has anyone in the show ever gone from hero to zero so quickly? He wins the brutal coconut drag, then he starts fire, 2 king moves, only to unnecessarily plummet off a rock and get seriously hurt. Survivor equivalent of the lady on the news who fell while stomping grapes.
That woman broke her collarbone. I
Oh,
believe.
did you?
Like on live TV. That was live too.
That was live TV. Yeah,
I feel bad for
Live
watching
TV,
that
yeah.
so many times and laughing. I actually
You said you enjoyed the fall from the
I
rock.
did. I
said
enjoyed
the
it
opposite.
very
Because you
much.
knew it was coming. Because we had seen it in
Yeah.
the promo for this
Oh, yeah.
season, and it was like, okay, here we go. I just was getting the X of how high is he getting?
Yeah.
That rock looks very jagged.
Yeah. So he landed, and then he called out for a medic, and I was like, okay, he's talking,
He's
and he's
fine.
moving. He sort of stood up. Then I started laughing, and then I rewound, and I watched it again, and then I rewound, and I watched it one more time. Now listen,
Wow.
I did find it funny because there's a guy falling off of a cliff, and it was funny, and it was his own fault. Okay, I'm a bad person. I am a bad person, but also I was rewinding because the drone was right there, and we didn't even see the drone. Like the shot is amazing. Like the drone is just sort of like, it's just coming over the crest of the cliff, and it would have been a spectacular shot. I mean, can you imagine if he made it to the top and was like, yeah, it was been like right out of like.
I think that's what
that would have been
thinking.
he would have been the Jerry West of Survivor. He would have been the new logo. It would have been him at the top of. But he didn't. He fell. He fell hard, and the drone caught it. It was this perfect mix. Like it was perfectly edited. Can you imagine piloting that drone or being the production just on like, this guy is gonna
this guy
fucking kill
dead?
himself,
Yeah.
man. Like, and then his cast mates are like, is he okay? I'm like, no, he's not okay.
No.
Did you see him fall? And listen,
He's lucky he fell into that little pool.
I do agree. I think
it really
that it might
helped.
have helped.
I mean, he still cut himself up big time and hurt his arm, but
I was more, and then he dislocated his shoulder, which I've never had. I've never happened to me, but
the old pop back in.
it's apparently
Excruciating,
extremely
yeah.
painful. And he's probably lucky that he popped it back in himself because he would have been gone. And then I also would have found that mildly amusing that there were 2 medevacs in episode 1 of Survivor 44. I mean, that's crazy.
That would have been incredible.
I do hope they'll probably be in the same location. They don't move now in Fiji there. I hope they put up some yellow caution tape around that particular, rock formation.
Yeah.
Or at least a warning sign. Do
Yeah.
not go up here. I mean, Robin and Fishback were debating on their podcast I heard this morning, whether production does have to be guys, don't do this. This is bad for you and obviously your health, but really bad for our production too if you kill yourself or
Right.
Seriously injure yourself and it screws up everything. And they had a good debate, Rob thinking they have to, you got to save these people from themselves. Fishback saying, I mean, this is an adventure. It's
Right.
they're in the wild, they're in the jungle, it's
Yeah, and I think
I agree with Fishback of it.
I do too, and I think Probst does as well, because I think he was talking about on his podcast. Look, they're there for the adventure, and we got to let them have their adventure. And if that means got to crack some skulls, then we're going to crack some skulls, I guess. But yeah, it could have been very, very bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't delight in people's pain, but I do delight in watching
People
somebody
falling.
fall. I
Yeah.
mean, that's half my Instagram feed is people falling down.
Yeah, Jeff must have been so excited.
Oh, my
and so
God.
happy that it happened because incredible production, of course.
Yes.
And now it serves as a counterbalance to Cody, not everybody can climb up
Yeah.
a wet, slippery
Right.
rock
Yeah.
and jump off it. So
Yeah.
you better be sure of it.
Yeah.
This is a warning issued by a guy who did not mean to issue a warning.
No.
Oh my God, Cody had the tattoo that said "Get Livin',"
Yep.
and this guy almost got dying.
He nearly did.
Yeah.
Nearly did. Holy. All right, guys, we are running back the No Buffs fantasy pool with our friends at Make Your Picks. Search for it on Apple. If you got an Android device, you got that, the Google Play Store, I believe it's called, and search for Make Your Picks, and you'll see us. We'll be right there at the top. You just got to sign up for an account. Super, super easy. Doesn't cost you anything, and then you're in. And you make 5 picks. You build your team, okay? You build your Survivor team, and we haven't started it yet with episode 1. We only start at the start of episode 2, so you have 6 days here to do it. You got to build your Survivor team, who you think's going to like last the longest, who's going to accumulate the most points because of like voting correctly, finding advantages, playing advantages, and all that. And then each week you vote out, I believe it's 3 people that you think most likely to go home that episode.
Right.
Is that correct? So we had a lot of fun doing this last season for 43. We're running it back for 44. I saw Rob has a podcast. They're doing their own as well. So, hey, play in both. Double your chances up. And, yeah, we'll be playing for some more Breaking Tea gift certificates. I think $100 to first place. And then the denominations go down a little bit for second, third, fourth, fifth, and I think all the way up to 7th. So good luck. There's a lot more to it. We will go over it, each week, debate who we have, debate if we're stealing things. There's some new wrinkles to it. The app, I think, already looks like 10 times better than it did last year. We got our little logo there now. So, yeah, make your picks. You'll see No Buffs Fantasy Pool. It should be like one of the featured public pools. And get in. I already had 500 people in this thing.
Yeah. Oh, and it hasn't started yet. Did you say that?
No, it has not started.
It has not started. It starts next episode. So you got a whole week.
Yeah,
but do it now because
Ooh, yeah.
you'll forget.
You're gonna
I forgot
forget.
a couple of
You'll
times.
forget.
You're going to forget. Make your picks now. You could even encourage you to make your picks now, and then you can change them right up until the premiere.
Right up until 8
start of episode 2.
Eastern.
That's exactly right. So make your picks. No Buffs Fantasy Pool. Excited to have it back. Any final thoughts, guys, on episode 1, 2-hour premiere, Survivor 44?
We're back. We're back, baby. It's a great time to get in. Anybody got a early winner pick, or is it just too impossible?
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you guys that. Let's call our shots. Here we go. Call your shot. Who you got?
Kane.
Kane, Canadian.
Canadian. 2 Canadians have played. Not this last, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The
42 and 41.
42 and really 42 and 41.
Well, 43 was the last one.
That's
so
right.
it was
Yeah,
last-
42 and 41. Won by Canadians. There's a Canadian in the cast. I'm gonna say Kane.
From Saskatoon.
He's from
Kane.
Moose Jaw.
It's from Moose Jaw.
He lives in
Ooh.
Saskatoon.
Oh, okay. All right, go Rough Riders.
Which Rough Riders? Oh yeah, no.
Saskatchewan ones. Who are you taking? Who's your pick?
I've got 2 on my list.
Okay.
Added to my Make Your Picks team right away. I'm kind of vacillating between the 2. I was really impressed with Heidi, who built the fire. I was calling her business lady. She was wearing a suit, I do believe, last night. She built fire for Soka. Kind of was like, they all wanted the firefighter to build it. She's like, why don't I just build it?
Yeah.
Ripped it off real quick. I think she's an engineer of some sort, so probably a smarty. But
She's one of the older people on the island too.
and that's why I'm not taking her as my winner, because I do think it can be tough for an older woman to win Survivor.
Yeah. I was gonna say Gabler, but he's not a woman.
Yes, that is true. Nor is he a Canadian.
That is also true.
I'm going with Sarah. My winner pick
Okay.
is Sarah
Oh, I like it.
from the Tika tribe, wearing purple. She looks to be a bit of an athlete
Yep.
in some sort of way. She got the inheritance advantage, which if she plays it right, will be a very powerful advantage. And we basically didn't hear anything about her in the very first
Right.
episode, which I think is a
Except- yeah.
good omen.
For sure.
Give me Claire. The one that was the venture capitalist asking Matthew, hey, what's going on over there? What happened when you came back? I just like how direct she was, but is thinking already very early in the game. She's 25, she's got a stressful job by the sounds of it. She even said something like, didn't she say something like, I got to decide to give people $1 million. Now I just
Right.
got to decide
Venture
these people
capital,
or get
yep.
these people to give me $1 million. I like that. Nice little twist there. Probst is gonna like that. So I'll take Claire. But we're very excited to have Survivor back in our lives. Hopefully you guys are excited. No Buffs is back in yours. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. Make sure you subscribe to No Buffs. Share the show. Until next time, the tribe has spoken.
There he is.
get so many Probsts up in here now.